Hey, Joe here from Home Studio Corner. I've been running HSC for 10 years. And in that time, I've had a pretty cool perspective on some of the common mistakes that us home studio folks are making. Specifically, I've recorded songs, mixed those songs, and then provided those raw tracks for my customers to either do some mixing on or recording on or something like that. And so hearing their results has been really eye-opening for me and helping me understand some of the common problems that we all face in the home studio world. And I realize I've been doing this for so long that so much of what I do in these videos and in my mixes and in my sessions, so much of that comes second nature to me at this point. And you might not be in that position, so I want to make sure I'm addressing you in a way that's helpful to help you avoid some of these common mistakes. You're still going to make mistakes. Making mistakes and failing along the way is completely normal and is a part of the process. But I want to put a bug in your ear about one thing that I see consistently over and over and over again, and I want to help you avoid that mistake or at least minimize the damage. So what is this common mistake? It's simply doing too much. There's this tendency, I don't know if it's just human nature or what, to pull some tracks into our session and to think I must do something to them. We think I've got to put EQ and compression on every track. I've got to EQ things, I've got to change, I've got to alter the thing, because after all, that's what mixers do, right? Well, yes, but we only alter them if they need altering. There are sessions that I have mixed where I have not put anything on the snare drum. Nothing. Either because I forgot or because it was recorded so well and it was working so well in the mix and I had a little bit of EQ and compression on the drum bus that I just never felt the need to go in and EQ the snare drum by itself. A lot of people are taking that backwards approach. Instead of thinking, is this working? They're saying, I must go do something to all the tracks. And they almost forget to stop and listen and say, hey, is this working? Now that's all theoretical. Let me give you some practical advice. If a lot of your EQs in your session look like this, you might be on the wrong track and you might want to stop and think, maybe I'm overdoing things. Now, I'm not saying EQ curves can never look like this, but if you're doing these big old honking 12 dB boosts in the top end of your lead vocal, there's a good chance you're doing too much. That's going to be way too bright, way too harsh. If you look across your mix and you see tons of EQ curves that look like that, that's just a red flag. They may be right. There's a good chance they're not. There's a good chance you've done too much to whatever track you're working on. Now, hopefully you're hearing me say, listen carefully to the music and then only do what the music is essentially asking you to do. And don't just process like crazy because you think you're supposed to. But Joe, the follow-up question might be, how do I know, for example, what my drum mix is supposed to sound like? Enter the secret weapon that we all have in our pockets. This thing. We have the ability to access any song that's ever been released, kinda. So if you're stuck and you're stumped and you've lost all perspective and you don't know what a drum mix is supposed to sound like, pull up One Headlight by Wallflowers or pull up something more modern and just listen to their drum mix and then go back to yours. And if yours is nowhere in the ballpark, determine what the differences are. That's called critical listening, and then go make some changes. You may go find that 12 dB EQ boost wasn't a good choice after all. For more sanity in the midst of all this mixing madness, go to 5stepmix.com for your free 5-step mixing guide. Thanks for watching. See ya.